All right, so should you start your real estate career solo or should you start on someone else's team, an existing team that's already in business? This is a video. I'm gonna try to break this down. I think it's the same kind of methodology, the same kind of predicament. Whether you're a wholesaler that's looking to get into it by yourself, a flipper, or somebody who to me today, I do more on the brokerage side of things. I help other people sell their properties, and I help people, buy properties as a broker. And I think the same kind of questions could be asked no matter what segment of the real estate industry that you're in. And honestly, there is no right or wrong. In this video, I'm just going to break down some of the pros and cons of starting on your own versus starting off on somebody else's team. So first off, the thing you got to realize in any kind of business, there are four departments. This is the same for wholesaling, for flipping, for doing what I do, where I'm trying to find people that will let me list their properties so I can be the listing agent, or finding people that are going to be a buyer and letting me be their buyer agent. The same four departments are in every business out there, even in online businesses. It's the same. And those four departments are marketing, sales, logistics, and admin, right? Marketing, like, you got to generate leads somehow. You got to get eyeballs on what it is that you're selling, on what you offer, what services you offer. Somebody has to know what it is that you do and how you do it. If not, then you don't have any sales, right? So you show me any business right now that's struggling in the sales side of things, I guarantee you they have a marketing problem, right? And all these go together. But as a new person coming in, it's hard to do all four of these at a high level, and that's just because we're all wired differently, right? Like, me and my wife are total opposites. I had an assistant for years and years and years that helped me build my real estate business. We went from just a handful of agents to then having over 160 agents in 10 different states. And we were polar opposites. Like, we took personality tests, and what I was good at, she was not so good at. What she was good at, I was not good at. And so the reality of it is, there's really four departments in any business, and there are some people out there that can do all four. You might be watching this video and you say, well, hey, I'm doing all four and I'm doing okay. Well, how much better would you be doing if you were really focused on one area and you had a really, really good person helping you with the other side of things, right? So it's a big struggle for people getting into the business. When you're starting on your own, the beauty of it is that if you go out and do the work and you close the deals, then you get paid and you get to keep all the money, right? But the problem with that is, you go out there, you do a good job with marketing. So now you've got some sales, right? Some people sign some contracts. You're moving towards a closing day. Well, now there's paperwork, there's coordination with title companies and lenders, and title issues that come up, and somebody's got to call and get insurance, and we got to have a good scope of work, and all these kind of things come up. And next thing you know, you've spent the last 2 or 3 days, or the two or 3 weeks, just dealing with admin work, logistical work, getting things lined up for this wholesale or this flip or this listing. And next thing you know, that deal closes, or this month's deals close, and next month you're starting over from zero, because you've been spending all your time on the admin and logistics side, and you have neglected the marketing and sales side. So it's just a fascinating, way of looking at it. One of the things I see, people get into real estate because they want to be an entrepreneur. They want to have their own business. And unfortunately, most people fall into the entrepreneur trap, which is a trap that, you think that you own a business, right? Maybe you have an LLC, maybe you have a business operating account, maybe you're paying business taxes, maybe you have a business license. But the reality of it is, if we take you out of the equation, no work gets done. Okay? So it's not really a business, right? A business is something that, I've got an office here. I could have 10 employees come in here. They all know what job they need to do, and without me being there, they could run this business, right? That's a business. But if I have to go in and I have to do the marketing and I have to do the sales and I've got to send it over to do the logistics and admin side of things, and it's dependent on me to write it up and for me to chart it out and organize it, I don't really have a business, do I? I have a job, and it might be a very high paying job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you truly want to have a business that runs without you, a business that can grow without you, a business that you could like not show up for 6 months and it would still be there, you're going to have to eventually get more people involved. You're going to have to get people to handle other things for you. You're going to have to delegate some control. You're going to have to give up some power, right? One of my favorite business quotes is by the pastor Craig Groeschel. He's the pastor of the largest church in North America. He said, "You can have control or you can have growth, but you can't have both." Right? So if you want to grow beyond what you can do, and there's nothing wrong if you don't want to. That's totally fine. You can be a self-employed solopreneur, right? Not really an entrepreneur, but a solopreneur, and you can just be compensated at a high amount for your skill set, but your income is going to depend on you showing up and using that skill set and being efficient with it day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Right. So it's a trap I see people fall into. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner. Not really. Right. And so, one of the beauties I think of joining an existing team is you get to see other systems and processes, right? You're getting to join somebody else's team without having to front the money for it, without having to figure it out, right? Any real estate team, whether it's on the wholesale side or on the flipping side of things, even the acquisition of rental properties, or on the brokerage side, like I'm on today, those businesses, those teams that you could potentially join have years of knowledge and experience, right? They've learned the hard way. And could they be better? Probably. Maybe you could go in there and help make them better, but they're years ahead, or worst case scenario, months ahead. And they've kind of gotten their teeth kicked in for a little while. Now they've started to figure things out, and you could be joining into something that is a cheat code, essentially. The hardest part of getting any business going is getting it going, right? And so if these folks have systems and processes that are already in place, and they already have people running those departments, and you don't have to fool with any of that, right? I'll tell you, for example, like I am very strong on the marketing and sales side of things. I can do logistics and admin. You can too. All four departments, none of them are that hard, but every moment that I spend on the logistics and admin side of things is just a total waste of my unique skill set, right? I would be better off having somebody handle that side of thing for me 100%, which is what I have today. Wasn't always the case. In the beginning, when I first got my business started, I pretty much did everything. And I'm telling you, I'm doing this video because I did it that way. And there's nothing wrong with doing it that way. I'm glad I made it to the other side, but I saw a lot of people who made that jump and tried to do it, to do what I was doing, and they never made it to the other side, right? They hit a certain roadblock, they hit a certain production level, they hit a certain number of employees, and they couldn't ever go past that because they were way too involved in the day to day. Today, I pretty much don't touch the logistics or admin side of my business at all because I have amazing people that do it for me, right? I mean, people that are way better at it than me that love to do it. I can do it, and I can do it pretty good, but I hate doing it, and it slows me down from the marketing and sales side of things, right? I'm so strong on the marketing and sales side. I'll go out and I'll generate business and get customers and get contracts signed, and I need somebody to come behind me and clean it up for me, get it organized, so I can just keep going out and doing what I do, right? And so if you're watching this video, there's probably a good chance you are like most people, where you have one side of the business that you're very strong in, and others that you're not so strong in. And the beauty of joining an existing team is that you can jump in, you can start earning money right away. You're not having to risk your own money. You can learn a lot by just seeing the way an existing team is operating. You can kind of see what you like and see what you don't like. And then later you can decide, do you want to go out and do this on your own? Do you want to lead your own team? Are you content with just being on the sales side, on the marketing side, on the logistics side, or the admin side? Or do you really want to be the business owner that kind of oversees all of it, right? You can make those decisions. And I think it's helpful to be part of a successful organization and just to see how that works, right? I was listening to a great video this morning. You've probably heard the idea that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and that's really not super fair today. Not everybody has the luxury of having 5 super successful rich entrepreneur friends, but we can all listen to podcasts, we can all listen to videos, we can all hop on Zoom calls, we can all go to conferences, and those can become the people that you listen to, right? If I looked at your YouTube, if I pulled up youtube.com, or if I pulled up Facebook or Instagram or X right now, and I scrolled through your feed, what kind of videos is the algorithm putting in front of you? What kind of people and what kind of ideas are you being exposed to on a daily, weekly basis inside those algorithms? Those algorithms kind of say a lot about who you are and who you're not right now. But I think the beauty of jumping into an existing team is you are exposed to something successful. You're exposed to people that kind of thought big and had a big idea, and now they figured it out enough for you to come be part of that team. I think there's some true value to that, and it could end up that you become partners with those people for life. It could be that you spend some time on that team and then you go out and do your own thing. But I think there certainly is some value for minimizing your risk early on, for really being focused on one department instead of all 4 in the beginning. And but at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with doing it one way or the other. I enjoy what I'm doing today. I run a real estate sales team today. That people have to be licensed, but we essentially we take properties that are on the market, for sale by owner or with real estate agents. We put them into an online portal, and we have big institutional buyers that will look at those properties, look at the photos, run their own numbers, and give us cash offers for those properties. And then we take those offers and we present them to the for sale by owner or to the listing agent, and a lot of them turn into contracts. And we get paid a pretty good finder's fee for finding these properties for these institutional buyers. It's something that anybody could do. It's a minimal amount of money it takes to get started in this. In most states, to get your real estate license is just an online course and passing a multiple choice exam and a background check. And you're in the business for in Alabama at least less than $2,500, and you can be doing what we do. And if you'd like to see that in action, I've got a link below where you can kind of see a recorded masterclass that I put together to show people how that portal works, and how we turn those conversations into accepted contracts. And it's low overhead. We're not risking our own money. We're not going out and flipping the properties. We're finding the properties for the people that are, and we get a finder's fee. And then when they're finished with those properties, we list those properties, and we get a commission for being a listing agent. So it's a very profitable way of doing business with minimal overhead. And we're always looking for great people to be part of our team. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, hey, I might want to go do this, you can do this with us, and you can still do everything else that you're looking to do too. So the beauty of this is I can still flip houses myself. I can still buy rental properties. I can still do wholesales. I can still do assignments. I can still be a listing agent. I can still be a buyer agent with a first-time home buyer. It's just one more way that I can make money with my real estate license. So check that out below, and would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for checking out today's video.